Good job, New York Knicks. I I told you guys when I made the Cleveland video a couple days ago or last night, I guess, that I might be making the same video for my team. And it is um it's a little different, of course. As of right now, we technically do not know what happened to Jason Tatum. But it looks like he tore his Achilles. Um You guys know Tatum's my favorite player. I got two Funko Pops right there. The big poster. I conveniently today was even wearing a shirt of him, but that was an awful way to see pretty much our season end. Again, when I make these videos, it's 3-1 for both this and the Cavs series, but 3-1. I think I saw that series teams that are 3-1 win are 280 and 13. It's not obvious. It's not very likely to come back. It's not impossible, but with Donovan Mitchell maybe being out game 5 and Jason Tatum likely being out until the new calendar year in 2026 and maybe even the whole season, depending on how the bad this is. Excuse me, I have my phone updating just in case it comes out while I'm doing this. But Knicks played a great game. Jalen Brunson couldn't miss in that third and fourth quarter, man. This was Jason Tatum versus Jalen Brunson. It was insane. Tatum was doing everything after the first two games. Him and his team weren't doing great at all, but he was doing everything he could. Once Jalen Brown got that fifth foul, he had to just come back in earlier than he was expecting to because Jalen Brown picked up fouls that he didn't need to pick up, and obviously the night ended the way that it did. But you know, great. I mean, I'm not upset at the Knicks. I'm not mad at the Knicks for anything because it's not like um the Knicks did anything wrong. It's not like the Knicks hurt him or anything. The Knicks have played a great series. They've done what they need to come back in those first two games, and even come back in this one, even though it wasn't as big of a lead. But um, Mikal Bridges pull up mid range is money. So good for some reason, especially Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year for a reason. I don't know how many times I've said that this postseason, whether it's over on here or it's on the Hoops All In channel. But just truly, it's amazing, man, what New York has done. Again, they kind of when they acquired Mikal and Cat this past offseason, it was like the Knicks are kind of it seems like they're trying to build a team that can rival the Boston Celtics. And through the
Mhm.
regular season, it looked like they couldn't really do anything with it because obviously the 0-4 thing, but that is the regular season. But the first two games of the playoffs was great for the Knicks. I don't think they really played the greatest in those first two games. I mean, they played good enough to come back for sure. But I thought the Knicks could play way better than what they did, which was scary. And I was super nervous going into game 3, because we needed to get that. We went back up by 20, and then we were able to hold on to it. This game we never really jumped too far out. I think the biggest lead we had at one point was like maybe 16 points, but just like the Celtics normally do in the third quarter, we sell the lead away. We just start to crumble in we just start to crumble in the second half, and then we have to play catch up, and it's just not a great thing to do. But I mean, Jalen Brunson is amazing. He is a top 8 player in basketball. I don't whatever you say, he is. I mean, he's a top 3 point guard in the game today. If I had to, just off the top of my mind, um, and the things he can do at his 6'1" frame or whatever he is, it's insane. But I'm not a Celtic fan where I'm gonna hate because Boston versus New York, or I'm not gonna hate the Lakers because Boston versus LA or anything like that. I like to, be able to watch basketball, even though it is my favorite team, with a pretty unbiased standpoint, and I like to be able to enjoy to watch any team on any single night. But I mean the Knicks have done their thing. I'm not taking that away from them. With the way it's looking in these series, we're going to get a conference finals. I don't think anybody expected. Um, in that being the Knicks versus Pacers. Obviously, we will preview it when we get there because it's not confirmed yet. But just a rough way, man. I know this kind of not very energetic because it's still kind of like shocking. I guess I can talk a little bit about Tatum, but I mean he's been an Iron Man through his whole basketball career, really. He missed his first game. He missed his first playoff game ever with the wrist in the first round against the Orlando Magic. Out of like I think 115 games, he missed his first game finally. And to see that at the end there, it's kind of like you don't really know because it was a fast break. OG, got the ball, dunked it, and then they cut back, and Mike Breen is saying Jason Tatum is down, and you just see him like on the floor, just grabbing his leg and spinning. And at first sight, it's like, man, did he like step on somebody? Did he do whatever? But then they show the replay, and he lunges forward, and that back foot just it just gives out on him, and he goes right to the floor. I mean, we've seen it. You've seen it 100 times if you watch basketball. It happens to so many players. It's one of the worst injuries that you can get. Um, I honestly would probably say tearing your Achilles might be worse than tearing your ACL, just because. I mean, your ACL, it's like your knee, but I mean, your Achilles is like that goes all the way up the back part of your leg and your foot and everything. And that's just one of the worst things to get. But I mean, I'm not saying that if Tatum didn't get hurt, I'm not saying the Celtics would have 100% won that game. Obviously, we would have had a better chance. I think it was a 4.4 or 5 point game when it happened in the Knicks' favor. And then obviously it got to like a 10, 12 point game at some point because when he went out. But it's it's interesting when you talk about all the rumors of the people might need to be traded, or not might, will need to be traded. This is kind of the last ride for this team, even though they haven't been together very long. But the first year together they won the ring. This year they had the same goals, and everybody pretty much thought the same. But it's just a rough way to end. And again, this is not has nothing to do with the Knicks. The Knicks have played a great series. They've been great in the playoffs. They're one of the more entertaining teams in general. Their offense is so good, but it's just unfortunate, especially when it's your favorite team, favorite player. I mean, you don't want to see it for anybody, but I've never really had to, I mean, the last time that there was that I remember from the Celtics that was like really season ending off the top of my mind. I think in 2021, Jalen Brown had something where he missed like the playoffs and like the last few weeks of the regular season, but that wasn't that long. We weren't really good in 2021. Um, and then honestly, the Gordon Hayward thing and Gordon Hayward's first game with Kyrie, that was Tatum's first game as an NBA player too. Um, and obviously Gordon Hayward was never the same. Granted, he complete like snapped his leg in half, which is not what Tatum did, but at at some point it's like, man, Tatum is 27, man. He's done great things in his career already so far, but doing do getting I don't know, getting an injury this quote unquote early in your career only. This is his eighth year. He's on the, his legacy is he still has so much to prove and so much I feel like he can prove. And it's not saying that if he won't come back from this because he very well can. He's a young player. He's a good player. He's not completely relying on athleticism as the as the joke is, but you know, in good faith, you'd think he would be all right. He would come back as just as good of a player, hopefully, if not better. Um, but um, it just again, it's not anyone's fault. Just an unfortunate circumstance that had to happen. Um, and I don't like the fact that just what I've seen online that it takes Jason Tatum to maybe get a season ending injury and that will most likely keep him out of next season completely as well. That will start letting people ease off on Tatum, maybe give stop hating because oh now we feel bad for him. Like it shouldn't have to someone shouldn't have to have a what can be a career ending injury to get people to ease off of somebody or to finally be like, oh wow, I've hated on Tatum, but man, you don't want to see like the fact that you have to say things like that. It's like it's such a bad thing in any sport, in any topic in general that you want to talk about or follow, but sports especially. Um, and also, I don't like that. I'm also seeing people who are trying to plan the future right now, and everybody that's not named Derek White or Jason Tatum should be traded by the time Jason Tatum comes back. Like, obviously, we need to make moves, whoever that may be in the off season. We will find out. We will talk about it when we get to that point. But why would we can't let's not try and fix everything in one night because again, this isn't the this isn't the only player to have a season ending injury. This isn't the first time. Like we've seen it before, but there is, you just kind of have to see what you have next season play, I'm sure no, we will not be as good of a team, but that's a given. You lose your best player, you lose a top 5 player in the league, and nothing just gets better. Nothing is gonna fix itself. Again, you're not gonna fix it in one night. You're not gonna have your whole future for the next 2 years set out because man, you want to keep your mind off of it or you want to uh whatever. You just want to have all the answers. And this is for anyone. This isn't just for Tatum. I know it's kind of more of a quote unquote dramatic uh video again because like you're like, oh, so many players have had it. Damian Lillard has had it, got injured not that long ago. Wemby, all these players, and we've talked about them, but obviously this channel's not just a Celtic channel, but it's my video, my team can talk about it. But getting off of that, I mean, great series. And in general, again, it's not over technically, but 3-1 without your best player, it's gonna be hard to come back if at all. Um, we are going back home, but um, we'll see, and hopefully that Tatum gets better. Hopefully we will have a report by morning time. How an MRI went. Again, we can hope, but who knows how it'll turn out. But again, great series by the Knicks. Most likely heading back to the conference finals, and again, great win, great performances in these playoffs, especially in these series, and you know, keep doing your thing.